Welcome back, everyone, to another massive update on the Dallas Cowboys, where the buzz around potential trades, re-signings, and internal roster moves is reaching a fever pitch. Cowboys Nation, it's that time of year again when speculation meets strategy, and front office whispers start to turn into something real. As the Cowboys navigate through another roller coaster season, all eyes are now locked on three huge names that could shape the team's trajectory for the rest of the year: Jalen Tolbert, Trey Hendrickson, and Javonte Williams. Each name represents a major storyline with its own ripple effects on the offense, defense, and future roster construction, and the front office in Dallas is reportedly weighing every possible move with serious intent. Let's start with Jalen Tolbert, the young wide receiver who came into the season with high hopes of carving out a bigger role alongside CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks. Tolbert's development has been one of the quieter but more intriguing subplots within this Cowboys offense. After flashes of brilliance in camp and the preseason, many expected Tolbert to become that consistent third option that could take pressure off Lamb and give Dak Prescott another dependable target. However, inconsistency has been the name of the game so far. Some games, Tolbert looks like he's about to break out, showing his speed, sharp route running, and soft hands. But other times, he's been almost invisible, leaving fans wondering if the Cowboys might be looking to shake things up at the position. Rumors have begun circulating around league circles suggesting that Tolbert's name has come up in trade conversations not because Dallas has given up on him, but because teams are calling to gauge his availability. What's fascinating here is how Jerry and Stephen Jones might approach the situation. The Cowboys' receiving depth has been tested at times this season, and while Jalen Tolbert hasn't fully arrived yet, trading him away could open up a void unless Dallas has a clear replacement plan. On the other hand, if the front office sees an opportunity to bring in a veteran pass rusher or a more proven offensive weapon, moving Tolbert might make sense as part of a package deal. Some insiders even believe the Cowboys could use him as a trade chip to acquire someone who can make an immediate impact down the stretch, possibly a defensive player who can create pressure off the edge, which brings us to Trey Hendrickson. Now, when the name Trey Hendrickson comes up in Cowboys rumors, fans immediately perk up. The Cincinnati Bengals defensive end has quietly become one of the most underrated pass rushers in the league. He's powerful, explosive, and brings that relentless motor that Cowboys defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer loves in his players. The idea of pairing Hendrickson with Micah Parsons sounds like something straight out of a Madden dream scenario, but there's real chatter that the Cowboys have at least inquired about what it would take to bring him to Dallas. With the Bengals struggling to stay consistent defensively and facing cap concerns down the line, Hendrickson has reportedly drawn interest from multiple teams looking for pass rush help, and the Cowboys are rumored to be among those monitoring the situation closely. Dallas has been relying heavily on Parsons to generate consistent pressure, but with DeMarcus Lawrence battling minor injuries and the rotation not producing as much as expected, adding a veteran like Hendrickson could completely change the defensive dynamic. He's not only capable of racking up double-digit sacks, but he also brings an energy and leadership presence that fits the Cowboys' identity perfectly. Of course, the question always comes down to cost. Would Dallas be willing to part with draft capital or a young piece like Tolbert to make a deal happen? Jerry Jones has hinted more than once that the Cowboys are not afraid to make moves if it means strengthening their chances for a Super Bowl run, and Stephen Jones recently added fuel to that fire by saying the front office is ready to act if the right opportunity comes along. That right opportunity might just involve Hendrickson. However, there's also another name making waves in Dallas circles: Javonte Williams. The Broncos' running back has been a topic of quiet but growing interest as the Cowboys continue to evaluate their ground game. After losing key depth earlier in the year and struggling to find consistency behind Tony Pollard, the Cowboys' run game has lacked the physical punch that once defined their offense. Pollard has been effective in space, but Dallas clearly misses that bruising, downhill runner who can wear down defenses late in games. That's where Javonte Williams enters the conversation. Williams, when healthy, is one of the most powerful young runners in football, a guy who can drag defenders, break tackles, and energize an offense. But injuries have derailed parts of his career in Denver, and there's growing speculation that the Broncos might be open to moving on from him as they continue their rebuild under Sean Payton. For Dallas, the potential of adding a player like Williams could be a game changer. He would immediately complement Pollard, giving the Cowboys a true thunder and lightning combination that could open up play action and take pressure off Dak Prescott. Even more interestingly, there are whispers that Dallas isn't just looking at a trade but might also be considering signing Williams to a new deal if the price is right, essentially making him a longer-term investment rather than just a short-term rental. Imagine an offense where Tony Pollard and Javonte Williams share the backfield, with Prescott having the freedom to lean on either depending on game flow. Williams brings that physicality that sets the tone in December football, the kind of punishing style that the Cowboys have lacked since Ezekiel Elliott's prime years. Sources around the league have indicated that the Cowboys have done their due diligence on Williams, and while no formal offer has been made, the interest is real. Given the way the Broncos have handled trade talks in the past, it might come down to whether Dallas is willing to part with a mid-round pick or a player like Tolbert to make the deal happen. The idea of adding both Hendrickson and Williams might sound ambitious, but this is Jerry Jones. We're talking about the same man who once made bold mid-season trades to push the Cowboys into playoff contention. The front office is under pressure after another up-and-down start to the season, and fans are demanding action. The NFC landscape is competitive, and with the 49ers, Eagles, and Lions all making aggressive moves to strengthen their rosters, the Cowboys' no standing still could be the difference between another playoff heartbreak and a legitimate Super Bowl run. Internally, there's also been growing tension between those who believe the Cowboys should stay patient and build through development, and those who want to make a splash now. The patience crowd argues that Tolbert just needs time, that the defense will find its rhythm once injuries settle, and that the team's chemistry shouldn't be disrupted. But the aggressive camp, led by Jerry and reportedly supported by some key veterans in the locker room, believes the time is now. They see Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, and Trayvon Diggs in their prime and argue that the Cowboys can't afford to waste another season waiting for things to click. Fans have already picked up on this growing sense of urgency. Social media has been flooded with calls for Dallas to go get Hendrickson and bring in Javonte. Many fans believe the Cowboys' Super Bowl window is open right now, but only if the front office makes the right moves. The defense, while still one of the best statistically, has struggled in key moments to create turnovers or pressure quarterbacks consistently, especially against top-tier teams. Hendrickson's addition could fix that instantly. Meanwhile, the offense has been far too one-dimensional at times, relying heavily on Prescott's arm and CeeDee Lamb's brilliance. A physical back like Williams could balance things out and restore that old-school Cowboys identity built on dominance in the trenches. One interesting twist to all this is that the Cowboys locker room has reportedly been buzzing about the potential of a big addition. Players like Micah Parsons have spoken publicly about trusting the front office to do what's best, but insiders say the team senses something brewing. Even Dak Prescott, known for his calm and professional demeanor, recently hinted that the team is always looking to improve, a line many fans have taken as a subtle nod to the trade rumors. The Cowboys have been close to the top for years, but haven't been able to take that final step to reach the NFC Championship. Moves like these could change that. If Dallas were to pull off both moves, landing Hendrickson for the defense and Javonte Williams for the offense, it would send a message to the entire league that the Cowboys are all in. It would give them one of the deepest defensive fronts in the NFL and a rejuvenated running game capable of controlling tempo and closing out games. It would also give fans exactly what they've been begging for: bold, decisive action. And let's be honest, this is the Dallas Cowboys. Nothing ever stays quiet for long in this franchise. Whether it's Jerry Jones dropping hints on the radio, Stephen Jones speaking cryptically about evaluating opportunities, or players tweeting eye emojis, It all feeds into that classic Cowboys drama that keeps America's team in the spotlight. As the trade deadline approaches, the front office is under the microscope. Every report, every leak, every sighting of a Cowboys scout at another team's facility will set off waves of speculation. Could Jalen Tolbert be on his way out as part of a package deal? Could Trey Hendrickson be donning the star soon? Could Javonte Williams bring back that hard-nosed running style fans have been craving? It's all in play. What's certain is that the Cowboys can't afford to stay complacent, not in a league where contenders are loading up and opportunities are fleeting. So buckle up, Cowboys Nation, because the next few weeks could define the season. If Dallas makes these moves, it could ignite a new surge of momentum heading into the second half of the year. But if they stay idle and the struggles continue, the criticism will only grow louder. Jerry Jones has never shied away from the spotlight, and with the team hovering around playoff contention, don't be surprised if the Cowboys make headlines once again with another blockbuster move. That's all for this massive Cowboys update on Jalen Tolbert's uncertain future, the Trey Hendrickson trade rumors, and the possible re-signing or acquisition of Javonte Williams. The pieces are on the board, and the front office has a chance to make a statement. Stay tuned, because when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, anything can happen. And if history tells us anything, it's that when Jerry Jones gets that look in his eye, something big is usually on the way. If you enjoyed this update and want to stay locked in on every trade rumor, player movement, and breaking Cowboys story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all notifications so you never miss a single Cowboys report.